Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Hammer Productions night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Psychopath, released in 1966, directed by Freddie Francis, from a script by Robert Bloch, starring Patrick Wymark, Margret Johnston, John Standing, Alexander Knox, Judy Huxtable, Don Borisenko, Thorley Walters, Robert Crewdson, and John Harvey. Now, this film is not a Hammer Productions film. This is an actual Amicus film, once again. Now, I love both Hammer and Amicus. I mean, they are both equally interesting studios from the British film community. And they both put out some very, very creepy, great films. And this one is equally as good. I mean, Freddie Francis directs this thing, and it's got to be his creepiest film that I've ever seen him direct. And he directed several with Hammer. And this one, it's just got a kind of a vibe to it and feel as far as atmosphere and music. The creepy dolls that are throughout this thing is just the way that he photographs them and the way that he does the music throughout this thing. It is just so off-putting as you're watching it. It is so well done. Very well directed film. From a script by frickin' Robert Bloch, of all people. This is the man who brought us Psycho. And The Psychopath is a very creepy film, but it also has a very, very interesting police inspector who is investigating these weird murders that are happening by the title character of The Psychopath. Peter Wymark plays the inspector in this, and he was featured in another video that I did for another Amicus film called The Skull. Now, he had a smaller role in that one, but in this one, he is the lead. And boy, does he take full advantage of that screen time that he gets. He is so snarky and smooth as this inspector investigating this crime. Some of his comments that he says toward characters throughout this thing is so perfect. Earlier, he gets targeted by the psychopath, and he finds a doll in his car and realizes he's about to be killed. And he immediately pulls this other guy that's there with him, a junk man, away from his car, and his car explodes. It just shows how intelligent this inspector is. But then, near the end, for whatever reason, he was made to look fairly stupid in this confrontation with a character. I'm not going to say whether it's the psychopath or not, but in this sequence, he has already had a boat drop down toward where he's at, and it almost hit him. He barely survives that. And he climbs up this area going after the person, and he sees the person climbing up above. And yet, when he pursues across this platform, he's not looking up at all. He's looking straight ahead, and then the person drops down and attacks him, and it's like, why did you not have him draw his gun and be looking up? He could have shot that guy before that guy even come down. So that sequence just made him look really incompetent and stupid, and And it just upset me because earlier they made him so smart with that car bomb element in there. So, I just didn't like the inconsistencies that they did with the inspector in the film. Margret Johnston plays a very interesting older woman who has all of these dolls around her place. And she's in a wheelchair and has to rely on this weird mechanism that she pushes to open doors for people to come in. And that adds a creepy element as soon as Patrick Wymark shows up, because he knocks on the door of her place and the door just automatically opens up. And when he walks in, the door automatically closes. So it adds this really cool element to it with her doing that. And she is very, very creepily played by Margret Johnston. And her son character is played by John Standing. And he is less creepy and more charismatic and kind of, I would say, cool in his portrayal. But as the film progresses, he goes a little bit more over the top in his portrayal. And that's my only qualm about his performance in this. The group that the psychopath is targeting are played by several really good actors in this film. Alexander Knox is one of them. He does a pretty damn good job throughout the film. He disapproves of his daughter, played by Judy Huxtable, and her relationship with this new boyfriend, played by Borisenko. And she is very oddly played early in the film. She gets a little bit better as the film progresses, but it was credited as introducing her. So I'm going to give her a pass, as this was probably one of her first major roles in a film. So she's pretty good later, like I said. But early in the film, she was trying to get her footing, and it didn't feel real in a lot of sequences with her. Now, Thorley Walters appears in this as one of the people that is targeted, and he is his normal, goofy self in certain scenes, and if you like that part of him in films, you'll probably enjoy this. Me, I would rather see Thorley Walters playing a serious character, which he has proven that he could do throughout his career. But there are more times than not that directors have him come into a film just to be comic relief and be, kind of goofy in films, unfortunately. The rest of the actors throughout this film are kind of like the way that John Standing does throughout the, like I said earlier, he starts off really cool, and then as the story progresses, he gets progressively more odd. And that's the way a lot of other characters in this are as well, because for whatever reason, Freddie Francis was trying to make them appear to possibly, is this person the killer, and put, shade on them. But I think in the process, it makes the actor do this over-the-top portrayal in those moments, and it does not work for me, unfortunately. But overall, other than the sequence with Patrick Wymark where they make him look kind of stupid, I loved his performance throughout this film. He is very, very good as Inspector Holloway. So I am going to give The Psychopath from 1966. I am going to give this film a 9.0 out of 10. had Freddie Francis directed this with that creepy atmosphere and creepy music that he had throughout it, and maintained just more subtle character quirks in here, I would probably have given it a 10, because it is an excellent film. But those over-the-top performances here and there, as the film progresses, it's a little off-putting, unfortunately. But have you seen this film? What do you think? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a review of a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video gets made, it will go up live for all Plus members prior to it becoming available for the regular general public. So, if you want to get interactive, now is a good time. Well, that's it for another Hammer Productions Night. If you missed last week's Hammer Productions Night, check out the link up here to get caught up on that one. Or if you missed any of the other Hammer Productions Night, be sure and check out the playlist right here to get caught up on any of them that you have missed.